On second down, Kamara. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. To throw, Winston.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Bengals nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Jameis now on first down. And this one's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Winston now.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand.
Touchdown! James O'Shaughnessy. A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he won't quite make it to the 25. drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mills. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Throwing, Mills.
Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14, a terrific play call. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. They find some open field here.
He's got room at the 30.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. 7-7, our score after 1.
With the score tied 7-7.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Mills to the air again.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Traquan Smith, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Steelers have moved out in front.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action now. Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Steelers will take over possession here up at the 44. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
They run again with Dillon. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. This is Dillon on the counter. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd and 1, here's Mills. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here we go on 4th down. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. I like that call. I'm assuming you're with me.
I am. I'm totally with you. And to me, they saw something that they liked there. Because, let's face it, it's going to be a mass of bodies. But it feels like the head coach has said, my best runner over my best blocker. Give it to me right now.
And you only needed 1 yard where they were on the other side of the field. Seems like a no-brainer.
If we can't get 1 yard, what are we doing out here?
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw, Mills. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run on 1st down with Dallas. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A.J. Dillon taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these 2 clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. All right, now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A short kick taken at the 18. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Dillon, they try the left side with him. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Mills. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again. As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw, but I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
On 2nd down, Dillon.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Campbell. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe.
On 3rd down, Winston. And going deep for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. 58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 27 yards.
And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting up.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 27, Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
On 1st and 10, Mills. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Winston. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. O.J. Howard, 85 yards.
Carl,
Carlson on for the PAT. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. But now if they wanted to, they could move the ball up to the 1 and go for 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because normally the ball's at the 2 when you go for 2. But if they want it now, enforce the penalty to the 1. But if they wanted to kick it, right, don't they just move it up 5?
Just move it up to the 10. Right,
move it up to the 10 if they still wanted to kick it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded right around the 8. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because their only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now Dillon on the inside give. And some room to roam now. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
101 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
3rd and long for Winston.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Let's go. It's time to play.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. He's got a man. Complete.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down. And it is a big letdown there defensively. They somehow allowed to convert on 4th and long.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. In motion, Hill. Winston to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts, so the middle of the field, that should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now Mills. And that'll be complete to Dillon. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A.J. Dillon. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Jameis to throw it. He's got a man, complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. In motion, Hill. One last shot now for Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And